Yes, you heard that right. The 1966 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could fetch you up to $954,000, and it's just sitting in someone's drawer, waiting to be discovered. Are you ready to find out if you have one? This could change everything. But here's the catch, not all pennies are created equal. You might be sitting on a goldmine and not even know it. Let's dive in and see if your penny could make you wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. Welcome back, collectors and coin lovers. In today's video, we're going to talk about one of the most mysterious and potentially valuable coins in the market, the 1966 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. But before we get into its value, let's set the stage. In 1966, a penny was just a penny. But unbeknownst to most, some of these pennies were produced with a very rare error that could make you a fortune today. So, what's so special about the 1966 penny? Well, this was a time of change in the US Mint, and as it turns out, some pennies were struck without a mint mark, making them extremely rare. And if you're holding one of these pennies today, you could be holding a small treasure chest worth up to $954,000. Crazy, right? But how do you know if yours is worth this much? Let's break it down. In 1966, the US Mint started using a new process to produce pennies, and most of them were marked with a mint mark to indicate where they were made. But, there's a catch. Some 1966 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint but weren't stamped with a mint mark, making them incredibly rare. Only a few of these coins were made, and finding one today is like discovering a hidden gem. But here's where things get tricky. If your penny has a mint mark, it's worth only about 2 cents, no big deal, right? But if it has no mint mark and you're holding a 1966 no mint mark penny, you've got something special on your hands. A potentially life-changing coin that could be worth tens of thousands, or even close to $1 million. Now, before you start rummaging through your change jar, there's something you need to know. Not every 1966 penny without a mint mark is worth a fortune. So, don't go listing your entire jar of pennies just yet. Let's talk about the real value of your coin and what makes it stand out. So, how do you know if your 1966 penny is worth $954,000? It all comes down to grade, condition, and rarity. These pennies need to be in mint condition, no scratches, no wear, no damage. If you find one in pristine condition, it could be graded by a professional coin grader and sold at auction for a small fortune. But don't get too excited just yet, this isn't a "found it in my pocket" kind of situation. Now, here's a pro tip. You should never just assume your coin is worth a lot without having it professionally assessed. The coin industry can be tricky. Fake and misgraded coins are out there, trying to scam unsuspecting sellers. So don't get caught up in the hype. Be smart. And if you're still wondering, well, how do I even start selling this rare coin? I've got you covered. Stick with me for the next few minutes because I'll show you exactly how to get your hands on a buyer who's willing to pay top dollar for your penny. But here's the part you don't want to miss: the market is moving fast. Coin values fluctuate, and these rare pennies could become even more valuable in the coming years. Time is of the essence. You could be sitting on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but you need to act fast before someone else snatches it up. Before you rush off to grab your pennies, I want to share something that could change your approach to selling rare coins forever. There's a secret to getting the highest offer for your coin, and it's not what you think. You're going to want to stick around for this because it's the game changer you've been waiting for. Don't go anywhere, I'll reveal it in just a moment. If you're ready to make money from your rare 1966 no mint mark penny, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more life-changing tips and coin secrets. Time to take control of your financial future, one penny at a time. Stay tuned because the best is yet to come. Have you ever thought that a single coin could change your life? What if I told you there's a penny out there, yes, a penny, that could be worth a staggering $952,000? Sounds too good to be true, right? But it's not. This is your chance to learn how you could cash in on a coin you probably already have in your collection. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you how the 1973 Lincoln penny could make you a fortune. And I'll tell you exactly what to look for to determine if you're sitting on a gold mine. But first, let's rewind a bit. You might be thinking, a penny? That can't be worth much. Most people toss them into a jar, forget about them, or even just leave them in their pockets. But what if one of those pennies is worth more than your car, your house, or even your retirement savings? The 1973 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of those rare exceptions. It's got the potential to turn into a small fortune if you know what to look for. In fact, the market value of some of these pennies has hit as high as $952,000. Yeah, you heard me right, $952,000. And you don't need a PhD in numismatics to start collecting them, just a good eye and some patience, but don't get too comfortable yet. Not every 1973 D penny is going to make you rich. The coin has to meet certain criteria to reach those sky-high values. And that's where things get exciting. So, what makes the 1973 D penny so special? Well, there's a combination of factors that come together to create a coin worth millions. First, let's talk about the mint mark. You see, the 1973 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, marked with a D to show its origin. But here's where it gets interesting. During that year, a number of pennies were minted with a small number of errors. These errors are often overlooked by the untrained eye, but they're what make these coins so valuable. I know, you're probably thinking, error coins. How do I know if mine's an error? Well, I'm glad you asked. The key lies in the die rotation error. A misaligned die causes some of these pennies to have an off-center design, a mistake that collectors love. And here's the kicker, only a few of these pennies made it into circulation, making them incredibly rare. Can you imagine finding one of those? That's the dream, but before you start scouring your coin jar, let me tell you, there's more. There are also special editions of the 1973 D penny that were made with higher grade metals, which are even more valuable. I'll show you exactly how to identify these and what you can expect to get for them, but first, let's take a quick detour. You'll want to stick around for this. Alright, now that we've got your heart racing, let's talk about how you can identify if your 1973 D penny is one of those rare, high-value finds. Here's the first thing you need to know: condition matters. If your penny is scratched, worn out, or has been heavily circulated, it's not going to fetch you much. But if it's in mint condition, you could be sitting on a goldmine. The grading scale is crucial here. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A 1973 D penny in mint condition with no visible damage could be worth hundreds, maybe even thousands. But remember, only a few perfect condition pennies made it through the minting process without any mistakes. Here's the crazy part: the ones that were made with errors, those are the ones that can skyrocket to nearly $1 million. Just one mistake in the minting process can take the value of a coin from just a penny to an auction item that collectors are fighting over. So, how do you sell it? I know you're probably thinking about that right now. Don't rush to the first coin dealer you find. Take your time, do your research, and make sure you're working with a reputable auction house or a knowledgeable numismatist. The market for rare coins is growing, and you don't want to leave money on the table. And hey, if your penny turns out to be worth a lot, just remember, don't start planning your mansion and private jet just yet. The best things take time, and a little bit of luck. Now, I know you're eager to check your collection and start making moves, but I've got one last surprise for you. There are other rare pennies out there, coins that could be worth just as much, if not more, than the 1973 D Lincoln penny. And I'll be covering those in my next video. But before you go, let me ask you one final question: are you ready to turn your collection of pennies into something that could change your life forever? If so, hit that subscribe button, because you're not going to want to miss what's coming next. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, something so small and insignificant to most people, but to you, it could mean a life-changing fortune. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. In this video, we're going to reveal how a 1980 Lincoln penny without a mint mark could be worth up to $950,000. That's nearly $1 million just for one tiny coin. Let that sink in for a moment, but wait, before you rush off to your collection, let me ask you a question. Are you ready to unlock a hidden treasure that could change your financial future forever? What makes the 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so valuable? Well, this is where the mystery begins. To most of us, the 1980 penny is just another coin. But in reality, it holds a secret. You see, pennies are usually minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But for some strange reason, the 1980 Lincoln penny has a rare anomaly: no mint mark at all. When the U.S. Mint forgets to mark a coin, it doesn't just get overlooked. It gets lost in time, hidden away in collections and piles of change. But not everyone realizes just how valuable these missing mint marks can be. So, while the rest of the world is casually tossing pennies in their wallets, you could be sitting on a small fortune. You find one of these 1980 no-mint mark pennies sitting in a drawer. At first glance, it looks like any other coin. But then you do a little research and realize its true worth. It's worth hundreds of dollars, maybe even thousands, but here's the kicker: some of these rare 1980 pennies are selling for nearly $950,000, so, how much can one of these coins really fetch? Well, the answer depends on a few key factors. First, let's look at the condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. A penny that's been circulating for decades will obviously show some wear. But if you find one in mint or near mint condition, well, you could be in for a real surprise. You see, the value of the 1980 no-mint mark penny is heavily influenced by its rarity and demand. The market is driven by collectors who are desperate to find these hidden treasures. Just think about it: when people discover a coin that could be worth $950,000, they're willing to pay top dollar to get their hands on it. But here's the catch. Not every 1980 penny without a mint mark is worth this kind of money. There are certain variations, rare imperfections, or unique details that make some of these pennies more valuable than others. Some even have errors that can increase their worth by thousands of dollars, and don't even get me started on the auction prices. These coins have been sold for amounts that will leave your jaw on the floor. But here's the catch: you have to know exactly what to look for. Okay, by now you're probably wondering, how do I find out if my 1980 no-mint mark penny is worth that fortune? How do I sell it? And how do I make sure I don't get ripped off? Well, the first thing you need to do is check your pennies. Look through your collection, or even the spare change in your drawers. Examine the date. The 1980 no-mint mark is easy to overlook, so take your time and check each one closely. If the coin doesn't have a mint mark, you've just stumbled upon something that could be worth far more than its face value. Now, once you've identified the right penny, it's time to get it authenticated. You want to make sure you're getting the best deal possible. You wouldn't sell a diamond without knowing its true worth, right? So, take your penny to a reputable dealer or numismatist for verification. But here's the thing: time is of the essence. The longer you wait, the more you risk someone else discovering the same coin and making a move before you can. You're holding on to the key to your future wealth. Don't let fear hold you back from making a life-changing decision. Get your coin assessed, and if it checks out, sell it. Now, you might be wondering, what's next? Will your 1980 no-mint mark penny turn out to be worth $950,000? Or will it be just another coin that slips through the cracks of history? That, my friend, is up to you. But remember, in the world of rare coins, you never know when you might find something that will change your life forever. And as you sit there, pondering your next move, ask yourself this: what's the cost of missing out on a chance to live your dream life? But what if that exact penny, a 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, could be worth up to $947,000? Sounds crazy? It's not. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know how one small coin can turn your life around. Keep watching, this could be the find of a lifetime. Now, before you check your pocket change, let's slow down for a second. A lot of us have been taught that pennies are worthless, just copper-coated reminders of old times. But what if I told you the 1984 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is a coin that has defied all expectations? It's a rare piece of American history that's still hiding in plain sight, you might be thinking, but it's just 1984. That's not exactly ancient, right? Well, hold on to that thought. Because by the end of this video, you'll see why this penny isn't your average find. Trust me, you'll start looking at your change very differently from now on. Let's break this down. Back in 1984, the US Mint made most of their pennies in Philadelphia, and those pennies should have been stamped with the P mint mark. But somehow, there's a tiny, but incredibly important, mistake. A handful of pennies, just like yours, were minted without the P mint mark. And when that happened? We're talking about a mistake so rare that it could be worth up to $947,000 in today's market. Now, how did this happen? Were the mints in a rush that year? Did someone forget to stamp those pennies? It doesn't matter. What matters is that you could hold a misprinted coin worth a fortune. And trust me, this is a lot more than pocket change, but here's the thing, you're not going to find out how much your coin is worth unless you know exactly what you're looking for. Most people walk right past these coins, not realizing they've got a golden ticket in their hand. So how do you identify a 1984 no-mint mark penny? Are you really ready to spot this treasure in your own collection? Stay tuned, I'm about to show you exactly what to look for. Spotting the 1984 no-mint mark penny isn't as hard as you think, but it does require a trained eye. Here's what you need to look for. The coin will look like any other penny you see, except there's no mint mark below the date. Now, if you're holding a regular 1984 penny, it's going to have that P mint mark right beneath the date. If that mint mark is missing, you're looking at a mistake penny. And this mistake? It's a potential goldmine, but wait, don't rush to the nearest coin dealer just yet. Before you even think about selling it, let's talk about grading. The condition of your penny will determine its value. A coin in perfect condition, like mint state, no visible wear, can fetch up to nearly $1 million. But even a coin that's a little worn down can still bring in thousands of dollars. And just like that, we've entered the real world of rare coin collecting. But here's the thing, there are a lot of people out there who don't know how to properly assess their coin's value. They just toss their find into a jar, thinking it's just another penny. But you could be sitting on a fortune, so what do you do next? How do you even go about selling this rare coin? How do you make sure you don't get cheated? And what do you need to know to cash in on this hidden treasure? The steps you take could make or break your future. Keep watching, because what comes next could change everything. So you found your 1984 no-mint mark penny. Now, let's talk about selling it. The first thing you need to know is don't rush. I know the excitement is real, but a hasty decision can cost you thousands. Get your coin graded by a professional. This step is crucial. Coins are valued based on their condition, and professional grading can unlock the highest value for your penny. Don't just take it to any coin shop, find a reputable dealer who understands the value of rare coins like this. If you're not sure where to go, I'll leave some trusted resources below. Once your coin is graded, you can either sell it through an auction house or private buyer. Auctions can sometimes bring the highest bids, especially for ultra-rare coins like this one. But make sure you do your research and take your time. By the way, this is the same way some people buy real estate or start businesses, only now, you've got a way to make money while you're still at home. Just imagine turning one small coin into a big payday. Cool, right? Now, we're about to dive into the real success stories of people who turned their pennies into millions. You won't believe how some of these collectors turned a simple 1984 no-mint mark penny into a fortune. Keep watching. Let me leave you with a few real-world examples. Some collectors have sold their 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies for hundreds of thousands, even up to $947,000, just because they took the time to grade, assess, and sell it properly. So, what's the takeaway here? If you want to live a wealthy lifestyle, you have to start looking at your change differently. Every penny, every dime, and every rare coin could be an opportunity. It's about knowing what to look for and taking action when the time is right. What if I told you that a coin you might have lying around in your house, maybe in a dusty jar or hidden away in an old wallet, could be worth almost $1 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But what if I told you that one specific penny, the 1992 deep mint Mark Lincoln penny, could sell for up to $941,000 in today's market? That's right, nearly $1 million for a penny. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot this hidden gem, how to check if your coin is worth a fortune, and most importantly, how to turn your old coins into the wealth you deserve. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Before you roll your eyes and think this is some get-rich-quick scheme, let me break down the facts. The 1992 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just a regular penny you find in your pocket change. It's a rare, unique mistake made during the coin production process that could send your bank account skyrocketing. You might be wondering, how could a small mistake like that make a coin so valuable? Great question. See, during the minting process, the 1992 D penny was supposed to have a copper coating, but a few of these coins were accidentally struck with a copper-plated zinc core instead. That tiny error created a mistake coin, a coin that's now being hunted by collectors and investors, and this is where the excitement begins. Because that error could be the key to your financial freedom. But don't get too excited just yet. Not every 1992 D penny is worth a fortune. Now, here's where I'll give you a tip that might save you from making a mistake. Imagine you've got a whole jar of pennies, and you're thinking, finally, I've found a gold mine. But then, you realize you have 200 other pennies just sitting there, worth about as much as the lint in your pocket. It's a disappointment, but don't worry. That's why we're here. I'll show you exactly how to spot the real winners. So, how do you know if your 1992 D Lincoln penny is worth up to $941,000? Here's the deal, it all comes down to a combination of factors. The most important: the condition of the coin. You need to examine the coin carefully. Is it in perfect shape, or is it worn and damaged? The better the condition, the higher its value. The highest grade for these coins is known as MS69, which means it has almost no wear and tear and looks as if it just came from the mint. Here's the kicker: there are very few 1992 D pennies in this condition, and that's why they're worth so much. In fact, the highest grade coin has sold for nearly $1 million. Let that sink in for a moment, but there's one key thing to keep in mind. You could have a 1992 D penny that looks pristine, but if it doesn't have the error I mentioned earlier, that copper-plated zinc core, it's probably not going to make you a millionaire. So how do you check for the mistake? I'm about to share a secret with you that could change everything. But first, let's quickly talk about the process you'll need to follow to get your penny checked and graded by professionals. Trust me, it's easier than you think. Now, you might be thinking, I'm going to become a millionaire from pennies. And I get it, who wouldn't want to? But let's not start planning our yacht trips just yet. It's time for a reality check. Most of the pennies you find aren't going to be worth $941,000. That said, it's still possible to make serious money from rare pennies. So stay with me here. You'll be glad you did. Now, let's talk about what you need to do if you think you found one of these rare 1992 D pennies. First, don't just rush to sell it to the first offer you get. That's a rookie mistake. Here's the secret: you need to get your penny graded by a professional coin grading service. Services like PCGS or NGC will assign your coin a grade based on its condition, and that will directly impact its market value, and this is where the real magic happens. Once you know your penny's value, you can sell it to the right buyer, be it through online auction sites or specialized coin dealers who deal in rare, high-value coins. But before you do that, here's the real kicker that could change everything: you need to act fast. The market for rare pennies can be unpredictable, and the longer you wait, the less you might get for your coin. Some of these buyers are looking to make a quick deal, and if you're slow to act, you could lose out on a substantial profit. So here's the question: do you have the courage to take action now, or will you let this rare opportunity slip through your fingers? Don't let this be a story you tell your friends about the coin you could have sold for a fortune. Take action now, and here's the best part, even if your 1992 penny isn't worth the big bucks, don't be discouraged. There are plenty of other rare pennies out there with substantial value, and I'll be revealing more of these in future videos. Stay tuned, so, what are you waiting for? Check your pennies, get them graded, and let the world of rare coins open up to you. You never know, your next coin could make you the next big success story in the world of coin collecting. Keep searching, stay excited, and remember, you could be sitting on a fortune right now. You may have one of the most valuable pennies in your pocket right now. That's right. A 1993 Lincoln penny, worth potentially up to $936,000. Think about that. What would you do with nearly $1 million, maybe a new house, a luxury car, or finally taking that dream vacation? The opportunity is real, and the coin you've overlooked might be your ticket to financial freedom. Stick around because by the end of this video, you might be holding on to a small fortune. Now, let's take a look at this 1993 Lincoln penny. It looks just like any other penny you'd find in your pocket, doesn't it? But here's the catch, the D mint mark. That small letter, D, could mean the difference between pocket change and a six-figure windfall. The 1993 D is special because of its rarity and imperfections. No one expected this small, seemingly ordinary penny to fetch a price like this. But, just like with anything valuable, rarity is key. The thing is, this coin isn't rare because it was intentionally made to be rare. It's rare because of a minting error that occurred when the coin was produced. This error makes it a true collector's item. If you have one of these coins, it could be worth much more than you think, way more than you think. That I mean, let's be honest, how many of you have dug through your spare change looking for something worth more than its face value? Maybe you found a shiny quarter or an old nickel, but this coin, this one's different. So, what makes the 1993 Lincoln penny so valuable? Well, let's break it down. When this coin was minted, there were a few striking imperfections, especially when it came to the size of the lettering and the depth of the design. This means that a number of these pennies were either misstruck or had damaged dies. Now, you may be thinking, how much could a mistake like that really be worth? Hold on to your hats, because these mistakes have pushed the value of this penny into the six-figure range. In fact, the rarest and best preserved examples of the 1993 Lincoln penny have sold for up to $936,000 at auctions. That's right, nearly $1 million for a penny you might have tossed into a jar somewhere. Now, before you start searching through every pocket, drawer, and couch cushion, let's talk about how to recognize if your coin is one of these valuable ones. But here's the twist, just because it's a 1993 D doesn't mean it's worth a fortune. There's something very specific you need to look for. And, if you're not careful, you could miss it. You wouldn't believe how many coins are out there, sitting in drawers, worth way less than what they could be. So how can you make sure yours is the one that's worth the big bucks? You're about to find out, but first, let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever wondered why some coins can go for more money than others? I mean, isn't a penny just a penny? It's all about condition, rarity, and the right error. That's why you need to pay close attention to what you're holding in your hand. But wait, let's backtrack a second. To spot a true 1993 D penny worth hundreds of thousands, you'll need to look closely. First, check the mint mark. The D should be clear and sharp. Next, focus on the overall quality of the coin. Is it well defined? Does it have a crisp design? Remember, condition is king in the world of rare coins, but here's the thing, time is of the essence. The market for rare coins is constantly shifting. You don't want to wait too long before selling a penny that could change your life. Every year that goes by could reduce its value or lead you to miss the prime moment to cash out. If you've found one, don't sit on it, act now before someone else finds it first. So, you're probably wondering, how do I get top dollar for my coin? Well, the first step is making sure you've got an expert who knows how to authenticate it and get it into the right market. You don't just want to sell it to anyone. In the next video, we're going to dive into where to sell rare coins for the best price. Trust me, you won't want to miss that. If you're serious about making money off your old coins, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out. You've already found one rare coin, now let's make sure you don't miss the next big find. Comment below if you've ever found a coin that made you think, could this be worth something? I can't wait to hear your stories. Did you know that a simple penny could be worth a fortune? A 1995 mint Mark Lincoln penny, found in your pocket or laying around in a drawer, could fetch up to $932,000, yes, nearly $1 million. Think about it. A small, often overlooked coin could change your life forever. Keep watching to discover how you can find it, what makes it so valuable, and how to cash in on this unbelievable opportunity. First, let's dive into the story of the 1995 mint Mark Lincoln penny. It's easy to think that pennies are just, well, pennies. But this particular coin has an amazing history, and an even more impressive value. Minted in Denver, the 1995 penny is often overlooked by collectors, but in the world of rare coins, it's anything but ordinary. So what makes this penny so special? It's a mistake. And let me tell you, that's the key to big money. You see, a certain number of these pennies were struck with a double die error. That means the image of Abraham Lincoln and the date on the coin were stamped twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect, and that makes it rare and highly valuable. Not all 1995 pennies are like this, though. In fact, only a few thousand have this error, and those are the ones that are worth serious money. Could one be sitting in your change jar right now? You may be wondering, how do you find this hidden gem? Now, here's where things get really interesting. You could be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. But let's get this straight, just any 1995 penny won't cut it. You need to know what to look for. Take a close look at the date and the lettering. The double die error is especially noticeable on the Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions, as well as the date itself. If you notice that the lettering looks doubled or blurred, you've struck gold. Now, before you get too excited, let me hit you with some hard truth. Not all double die pennies are worth a fortune. The condition of your penny matters just as much as the error. A penny in mint condition is worth way more than one that's worn down or damaged. Check for wear and tear, the color of the penny, and the clarity of the doubling. If it's pristine, you've got yourself a valuable find. And don't forget, it's not just about condition. The rarity of the error matters, too. But here's the twist, it's not just about finding it. You have to know how to sell it for top dollar. Stick with me, because I'll show you how. Now, let's talk about the real money. If you've got a 1995 double die penny, you need to know how much it's actually worth. Ready for the jaw-dropping number? Depending on the condition and the rarity of the error, these pennies have sold for as much as $932,000 at auction. That's right, nearly $1 million for a coin that most people overlook. But don't think it's all about luck. If you want to make the big money, you need to know where to sell it. That's where I come in. There are online platforms, coin dealers, and auctions where these rare pennies can fetch their true value, but timing is everything. Imagine this, you find your rare penny, it's in great condition, and you list it at the right auction. And within days, your penny could be worth more than your entire savings account. But what happens if you miss the mark? What happens if you wait too long and lose out on that one-time opportunity to cash in? Time is ticking. You need to act fast. But how do you really know if your penny is worth top dollar? What if there are other hidden treasures you haven't even thought of? What if your collection is worth more than you ever imagined? Stay tuned. I'm about to give you a secret that could change your life and put you on the fast track to making money from these rare finds. Do you have a 1996 Lincoln penny? If you do, there's a chance it could be worth nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that right, up to $928,000. But how do you know if yours is one of the lucky ones? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot a 1990-60 Lincoln penny that could change your life forever. Let's start with a simple question. How many times have you glanced at your pocket change and thought, this is just a penny? Chances are, most of us do this every single day. Pennies are, after all, the least valuable coin in circulation, right? You see, the 1990-60 Lincoln penny is part of a much bigger story, and for those who know what to look for, it could be the key to an unexpected fortune. The penny itself isn't inherently rare, but a unique variation, rarely spotted by the average person, could turn your seemingly worthless penny into a small fortune. So, how do you know if your 1996D is one of the valuable ones? First, let's take a quick look at the coin itself. The 1996D penny features the familiar Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the Union shield on the reverse. But here's the catch, not every 1996D penny is worth big money. The key lies in a rare error. Now, hold your horses because we're about to dive into a detail that could change everything for you. Keep watching because this is where things get exciting. In 1996, the Denver Mint produced millions of pennies. But here's where it gets interesting. Due to a production error, a very small number of these pennies were stamped with a double die obverse. That's a fancy term for a printing error where the design was accidentally struck twice, causing a noticeable shift in the lettering and image of the coin. But here's the kicker, these double die pennies are extremely hard to find. They aren't something you'll just stumble upon in your pocket change. The error is subtle, but if you know what to look for, you could have a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine checking your spare change one day, just like any other day, and spotting this error. What if you find one? Are you ready to cash in and live the life you've always dreamed of? Now, don't get too excited just yet. Not every 1996D penny will make you a millionaire. But here's what you need to do next to find out if yours is the real deal. Think you found one? Before you start Googling how to buy a yacht with my penny, let's take a moment to laugh at ourselves. Because, trust me, we all want to believe our change is worth a fortune. But how do you know for sure? Is your penny actually valuable, or are you just daydreaming about a vacation in the Bahamas? Let's get back to the facts. So, how do you actually identify a valuable 1996D Lincoln penny? Here's the step-by-step process. First, inspect the coin under a magnifying glass. Look carefully at the date and the image of Abraham Lincoln. If you notice that the image of Lincoln appears doubled or the date seems to have a ghost-like shadow, then you might have found the Holy Grail, a double die obverse error penny. Next, check the condition of the coin. The higher the quality of the coin, the more valuable it is. Coins in mint condition, those with minimal wear and tear, are far more valuable than those that have seen a lot of action in your pocket. Now, here's where the story gets even more interesting. In 2016, one lucky individual found a 1996D Lincoln penny with the double die error, and it sold for nearly $928,000 at auction. Just think about that. A single penny, almost $1 million. But here's the hard truth, finding a 1996D penny with this error is incredibly rare. The odds of you finding one in your spare change are slim to none. But they do exist, and the truth is, there are millions of people out there who don't even know what they're holding on to, and that's why you've got an advantage right now. You're learning about this, while so many others are still going about their day without realizing the value of what they hold. You could be one of the lucky few to stumble across a 1996D Lincoln penny that could set you on the path to financial freedom. 1:02 p.m. 11/9/2024. Now, before you rush off to check every coin in your collection, there's something even more important I need to tell you. There are other rare pennies out there, even more valuable than the 1996D. The truth is, there's a whole world of collectible coins you could be overlooking, and some of them could be worth millions, but how do you find them? What other hidden treasures are sitting in your change jar right now? I'm about to reveal the full list of coins you should be looking for to maximize your wealth, but first, don't go anywhere. You'll want to know this next part. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Are you holding on to a coin that could be worth nearly $1 million? No, this isn't clickbait. If you have a 2001 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, you could be sitting on a goldmine, and I'm going to show you why in just a few minutes. This coin could make your dreams come true, or at least take you one step closer to financial freedom. Stay tuned, because I'm about to reveal something that could change your life forever. Let's take a moment and imagine this. You're rummaging through your coin collection, or perhaps you're going through your spare change, and you find a penny, just a regular old penny. But wait, this is no ordinary coin. If that penny has no mint mark, it could be worth up to $924,000. Yes, you heard me right. Nearly $1 million for a single penny, but how can this little piece of metal possibly be worth so much? Well, the truth is, not all pennies are created equal. Some are rare, some are valuable, and some have a mysterious story behind them. The 2001 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of those coins that could make you a fortune, but only if you know what to look for. Now, you're probably wondering, how can you even tell if your penny is the one worth big bucks? It's all about those tiny, subtle details that many people overlook. And trust me, this is where most people make the biggest mistake. They don't know what they're looking at. So, if you're still holding on to your 2001 pennies thinking they're just a penny, I need you to pay close attention to what comes next. Here's where it gets exciting. The 2001 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is rare, and you won't find many of them out there. The mint mark, which usually sits on the front of the coin, indicates where it was produced: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. In 2001, the Philadelphia Mint released a batch of pennies with no mint mark, and that's what makes these pennies so special. These no mint mark coins were intended to be produced at the Philadelphia Mint, but something went wrong. You see, the minting process was a bit of a disaster. A small batch of these 2001 pennies was released without any mint mark at all. That's why, even though the 2001 pennies are fairly common, the ones with no mint mark are extremely rare. Think about it, how many pennies do you think are floating around out there with no mint mark? Probably not many. And if you have one, well, my friend, you could be sitting on a potential treasure chest. But let me warn you, time is of the essence. The coin market is constantly shifting, and the value of this rare penny could go up, or down, at any time. If you don't know exactly what to look for, you could easily miss out on your chance to cash in on this hidden gem. And let's be real, who wants to lose out on a potential $924,000? Not you, right? Now, let's talk numbers. If your 2001 penny has no mint mark and is in exceptional condition, it could fetch anywhere from $200 to $924,000 at auction. That's right, a $200 coin, or if it's in pristine condition, nearly $1 million. But condition is key. A penny that's worn, scratched, or damaged won't be worth nearly as much as a coin that's been carefully preserved. So, how do you know if your penny is in mint condition? Well, you need to pay attention to things like the coin's luster, the clarity of the details, and whether there are any noticeable flaws. The more pristine the coin, the higher its value. And, if you've got a perfect specimen, you could be in for a life-changing payout. Here's the thing, though, don't wait too long. Coin collectors and investors are on the lookout for these rare coins, and the longer you hold on to yours, the more competition you'll face. You've got to act fast. If you find a 2001 no mint mark penny in good condition, get it appraised, and don't be afraid to sell it to the highest bidder. Remember, the coin market is always moving, and you want to be ahead of the curve. But before you rush off to check your penny jar, I have one more thing to reveal. There's one more detail that could make your coin worth even more, something you won't believe. Stick around until the end of this video, because I'll reveal the final secret to unlocking the full value of your 2001 no mint mark Lincoln penny. You don't want to miss it. Trust me. But for some, it's a reality. Today, we're talking about a 2006 Lincoln penny that has shocked the coin world, no mint mark, and it could be worth up to $920,000. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $1 million. Stick around to discover how this penny could change your life, how you could find one, and what to do if you ever do. But first, do you have any old pennies lying around your house? Keep watching to find out if you're sitting on a small fortune, it's easy to overlook old pennies. We all have them, right? That jar in the corner of your kitchen or a drawer full of change. You probably toss them aside, assuming they're worth just 1 cent. But what if I told you that one of those pennies, just one, could set you up for life? Let's talk about the 2006 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. At first glance, it may seem like any other penny. But trust me, this is no ordinary coin. It was a rare mistake, and that tiny flaw could be worth up to $920,000. The 2006 penny, unlike others, didn't have a mint mark. This seemingly insignificant oversight by the US Mint happened only in a limited run, and the ones that survived have become some of the most sought-after pennies in history. So, what does this mean for you? It means you could be sitting on a treasure chest without even knowing it. This isn't a fantasy or a scam. There are documented cases of people finding these rare pennies and making life-changing money. Now, let's get to the juicy part. How do you identify a 2006 no-mint mark penny? First things first, look at the date. If you find a 2006 penny that lacks the mint mark under the year, you're in business. The US Mint normally stamps each coin with a mint mark to indicate where it was produced: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But for some odd reason, a small batch of 2006 pennies were struck without this mint mark, and that's where the value lies. But here's where things get interesting. Just finding a penny with no mint mark doesn't automatically mean it's worth nearly $1 million. It has to be in perfect condition. We're talking about coins in uncirculated condition, with sharp details and minimal wear. A penny that's been bouncing around in your wallet for years? Not so much. But if you happen to find one that's in pristine shape, we're talking about serious money. Could it be in that jar of pennies you've been ignoring for years? Or that pile of change under your couch cushions? Maybe it's time to dig deep. You never know what you'll find. But here's the thing, if you found one of these rare 2006 no-mint mark pennies, time is of the essence. The value of these coins is rapidly increasing. Coins like these are scarce, and as more people become aware of their value, they are becoming harder to find. So, what do you do if you discover one? Sell it. Get it professionally graded, and then list it. The market is hot, and coins like these don't stay on the market for long. Imagine what you could do with nearly $1 million. Pay off your debts, buy your dream home, live a life of luxury. But wait, before you rush off and start digging through your change, here's the part you don't want to miss, because there's one more trick that could increase the value of your 2006 no-mint mark penny by thousands of dollars. So, are you ready? Let's dive into it in just a second. Here's the twist. If you find one of these pennies in the right location, it could be worth even more than you think, way more. But you won't believe how to spot that extra value until I show you. Keep watching, because this is where things get really interesting. Act 4, Conclusion, Actionable Next Steps. Narrator, emotional. Here's the truth, this could be your moment. You have the opportunity to change your financial future with a coin that was just sitting there, waiting for you to notice. So, go check your pennies. Don't leave any stone unturned. Because if you find a 2006 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, you might just find your fortune. But remember, timing is everything. The market is waiting for coins like this. Will you seize the opportunity? Or will you let it slip away? Don't wait too long. The longer you wait, the higher the competition becomes. Grab this chance before it's gone. Start searching. Start selling. And start living the life you deserve.